Hi everybody, I'm back again with another video series. This time it's a classic board game that came out in 1989 in Europe and I believe 1990 over in the States. It's called Heroquest, made by MB Games in conjunction with Games Workshop. Very simple D&D game, nothing complicated about it. It's for ages sort of 6 and 7 upwards, and the whole point of the game is you've got your 4 main characters who have to explore the dungeon, either finding gold or artifacts or killing somebody in particular, or generally just trying to find their way back out again. This is the board, made up of different rooms and corridors. Not all the rooms will be used in each quest. What does the game come with? It comes with loads of miniatures. Unfortunately, the miniatures that came with this game I've actually sold on, mainly because I use Games Workshop painted figures, and you'll see those when I play the game. But you get 8 types of monster in the game. You get goblins, orcs, famirs, skeletons, zombies, mummies, chaos warriors and the gargoyle. And the game comes with 4 hero types. You've got the elf, the wizard, the barbarian and the dwarf. Also, you get loads of cards. You've got spell cards for the wizard and the elf. You've got equipment cards, artifact cards and treasure cards. You'll also get your monster cards. You get loads of different tiles. These are secret doors. These are all blocked passages. These are trap doors or pits. You also get, as I've just shown you, your 4 character cards. I'll come on to those in a minute. You've got a character sheet, so you can write down how many hits you've had, what gold you've got, what you've got to do, and the name of your character. You've got 2 different sets of dice. You've got 2 D6 dice for movement, and the white ones there are combat dice. You get loads of little 3D terrain sort of pieces. Here we have sarcophagus, table, torture rack, alchemy bench, bookcase, cupboard, throne, treasure chests, weapons rack, fireplace and another type of alchemy bench. You've got your rule book there. That is a screen for the evil wizard player to hide his stuff behind, and on the back is a glossary of all the things that the evil wizard needs to know. And you also have your quest book full of loads of quests, and you have these doors. You've got closed door, and that one represents an open door. So, moving on to the characters, just show you the dwarf. Here we see body, he's got 7 points. That means he's got 7 hit points. Once his hit points go down to 0, he is dead. He's got 3 mind points. This is used in later expansions of the game. It's mainly to do with magic and things like that. That's a little write-up of the dwarf. Now here we have the important stuff. If he wants to attack, he gets to throw 2 combat dice. That's 2 of these. If to defend, he throws 2 of these dice, and to move he has to throw 2 of these dice to see how many squares he moves. with the combat dice, you've got 3 pictures on here. You've got a skull, which represents a hit. You've got a black shield, which represents the defense of the monsters, and a white shield, which represents the defense of the heroes. I'll show you that when I show you a little bit of combat. With the monsters, I'll just show you the goblin. Here he says he can move 10 squares at a time, so he doesn't need to throw any dice. To attack, he throws 2 combat dice. To defend, 1 combat dice. His body points are 1, so you only need to hit him once and he's dead. And his mind points are 1. I'll show you with the gargoyle. Can't move as fast, but he's got 4 dice in attack and defense, 1 body point, 4 mind points. Now when I play this game, the body points will all be different. It'll be a lot harder. You'll see that when I play the first scenario. So, what can the heroes do? Well, there's 4 heroes there. They can do 2 things. They can move and attack, move and then move again. No, sorry, scratch that. They can move and attack, or attack and move. They can move and search for either secret doors and traps, or they can move and search for treasure. If they search for secret doors and traps or treasure, they cannot attack. And you can only search in a room or a corridor where there isn't, for treasure that is, for a monster that isn't present. So if you can see the monster, you can't search for treasure until you've dispatched him. Here we see the board. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a little scenario. This is only a very quick run through of the game. I will explain it as I'm playing it in the next set of videos. But what we have here, we have our 4 heroes. We have the barbarian at the front. There's the elf at the back, the wizard at the back, and the dwarf, and they're standing on the stair tile. I'll just move it out of the way. See the stair tile? And they come down the stairs, and all they can see is this closed door. So what's going to happen is the barbarian's going to go first. So roll a couple of dice. He's got a 6 and a 3. They cannot move diagonally, they can only move in a straight line. So he's moved 1 there, and he's going to open the door. It doesn't cost any actions to open the door. He can now peer into this room. So what we do is we check on the quest to see what appears in that room. You can see you've got a door, a table, and 2 goblins. Let's just move it up here. So we'll put the door in first, and the door is there. We now have to place the table in the room. It goes there. Right, move it up 1, and you've got 2 goblins. 1 there, and the other one is right there. So that's what he can see. So he's only moved 2 so far, so he's got another 7 more spaces to go. So what he does is he moves in here, and he's now going to attack that goblin. So if we look at the barbarian, you can see that he uses 3 combat dice to attack. So we will roll 3 combat dice. You ignore the shield. He's got 2 hits. Now if you look at the goblin card, he's got 1 dice to defend. So he now rolls his dice. Nothing, he hasn't defended. In order to defend, he would have had to have rolled a black shield, which would have just taken away 1 of the hits, so the barbarian still would have hit him with that. Because the goblin has only got a body point of 1, that would mean that goblin is dead. You don't get any points for killing goblins. You could do that in your own game if you wish. And then that would be his go over, and it would then be one of the other players' turn. So let's see what happens if a goblin attacks. So after the heroes have all had their go, then the evil wizard player moves their pieces. Chances are that goblin would have been killed, but we'll just show you what happens when the goblin attacks. So he uses 2 dice to attack, and he's got 2 hits. The barbarian has got 2 dice to defend. He's defended 1 because he's got a white shield, but he's been hit because that one doesn't count. So the barbarian, looking at his body point, that would now go down to 7 because he's been hit. What would happen then is after they've all gone, then you move on to the barbarian's turn again, and so on and so on, and you get to go through the whole dungeon trying to decide, find out which rooms are active and which aren't. You can see from the scenario here there's only a few rooms that are used in this quest. There's a blockade, you put that in, so that would go here, which means that this area is all blocked off, wouldn't be able to go that way. You get to search for traps and treasure. If you search for treasure, you lift up the top card, just trying to get the light off it, and it gives him a potion of magical aptitude. You can find potions, you can find gold, you can get monsters attacking you, things like that. The wizard, before he starts the game, gets to choose 3 out of the 4 spells, and the elf has the other one. So the wizard chooses 1 first, 1 pack, then the elf chooses a pack, and the wizard has the remaining 2 packs. This is equipment cards, so you can buy with the gold that you acquire throughout the quest. At the end of the game, end of that quest, you can go into the shop and spend your gold on items to enhance you for your next mission. And also throughout the game, you might have to find artifacts. Like this one here is Borin's armour. Lots of different things like that. But when I play the game, I won't be using the board. I'll be using Dwarven Forge pieces. So it's going to be a lot bigger. It's all going to be in 3D, so you can see exactly what's going to happen. So that is where I will start my next video. I say this is just a very, very quick run through of the basics of the game of Heroquest, and I've just tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit more exciting, a little bit harder. So if you have any questions, I have missed out a few little things, but on the videos you will see everything in action. So until Quest 1, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.